as actor Chris McDonald, who famously portrayed everyone's favorite golf villain of the 1990s, conjured his ultimate dream course. He wanted bold and beautiful, challenging and sexy, tree-lined fairways, massive elevation changes, sand and water. A Hollywood blockbuster rolled into 18 succinct acts. Designers Victor Lane and Jeremy Mayo were called upon to fulfill his vision, taking them to the Pacific Northwest. What they came up with was equal parts spectacle and strategy, a thrill ride that draws you in with a flash and keeps you on the edge of your seat. One look at the scenery, and this will quickly become your happy place. This is Every Hole at Clickbait Country Club. The par 4 opener takes you up through the mountain for the first time. Drive it over the canyon and hug the left side of the fairway for the best angle of attack. Easier said than done on a fairway that cants from left to right. Climb past a series of bunkers to a 3-tiered green that sets the tone for the day. Though the greens may look generous, only precise approaches will yield true birdie looks. The par 4 second reveals a theme repeated throughout the round. A hole through a gorge with walls on either side that seemingly squeeze tighter the more the pressure mounts. Play it over the left bunker to a fairway that's wider than it looks from the tee. A short iron should be all that's left to a 2-tiered green that's flanked by bunkers short left and right. Before you know it, you've reached the highest point of your journey, found at the landing zone of the par 5 third. Crest it and be faced with your first exhilarating plunge of the day. Going for it in 2 means carrying the gorge short of the green that's all out of bounds, all while hitting a long iron, hybrid, or fairway wood from a hanging lie. But the best layup area is half blind to a landing zone that kicks toward the gorge. Be ready to tell that doubting voice in your head to shut the hell up. Clickbait is suited toward the bold. The walls of the canyon appear to smack you in the face off the tee of the par 4 fourth. Fear not, though. There is a fairway that doglegs from right to left below what your eyes can see. Get the ball running downhill to leave yourself a wedge for an approach that favors a left to right shot to a green flanked by 3 bunkers and a hidden chipping area long and left. Whereas the canyon brought you downhill on the 4th, you head back uphill on 5. Hugging the right side of the fairway over a nest of bunkers will give you the best angle into an elevated green, though try not to be distracted by the beauty of Virginia Falls off in the distance. Camber is a constant foe on the par 4 6th. The best angle into this green is from the right. However, once clear of the gorge past the elevated tee, all the slopes funnel the ball toward the creek on the left. A back left hole location is a bravery test on this peninsula green, with water flanking left, right, and long. The final of 4 straight par 4s is another cliffhanger, literally. Trouble runs all the way down the left off the tee with the reservoir leading towards Barker's Fall. The brave line skirts the water left, opening up the angle to a green benched into the hillside. 2 bunkers, obscured from the right side of the fairway, guard the green on the right, with a false front short left. McDonald wanted only 2 par 3s on Clickbait and had a vision for both. The 8th is the incarnation of one of those visions. Tumbling some 110 feet downhill from the back tees to the green in the canyon, only good club selection and an arrow-like approach will yield a birdie look. Hitting long into the back bunkers is a bad miss, as the entire green runs away from you from there. Hitting it short into the creek is even worse. The 9th again dares you to take on the trouble, with the creek once again coming in play down the left. A more tepid tee shot down the right will leave a longer, more guarded approach into a 3-tiered green. If trying to sneak in a quick 9 before dusk, make sure to get done before the sprinklers promptly begin their evening watering. McDonald wanted Clickbait to be about stunning views and golf. There aren't many extras here, no pools or tennis courts. The clubhouse is small, but a modern structure carved out of the cliffs. Even the driving range is a bit unconventional as you blast balls into the bay. 4 rowboats serve as targets. Is that smack talk you hear from one of your playing partners? Or a heckler in the distance? Be prepared to work the ball both ways on the par 4 10th. The tee shot swings from left to right, with the fairway running away from the line of charm down the right. The approach calls for a right-to-left shot to an uphill green that runs away in 3 directions. The final march back inland begins with a demanding dogleg left par 4. Bunkers guard the entire left side of the hole, looking to gobble up any drive biting off more than it can chew. Another 3-tiered green awaits, and missing into either of the right greenside bunkers is almost a certain bogey. The bold play on the par 4 12th is to snap one from right to left along the dogleg, considerably shortening the approach. The fairway narrows, however, and the more conservative player will hit less than driver to the corner, leaving a mid-iron in. Another view of Barker's fall serves as the backdrop, but is well out of play. The green, flanked by 4 bunkers, runs away from the player, making distance and spin control a must. A blind tee shot awaits the player at the par 4 13th. Luckily, Mayo and Lane gave the golfer plenty of room, with a landing zone deplete of any hazards. That doesn't mean the drive is without challenge, however. The fairway runs left to right, fighting the desire to hug the left side for the best angle to a Redan-like green that will funnel the ball around 2 fronting bunkers and 1 flanking bunker toward right-hand hole locations. The larger, more dramatic brother to the 6th, the par 5 14th begins Clickbait's march to the water and home. A bunker, 325 yards from the tips, cuts into the fairway on the right, guarding the dogleg. Chubbs Bay comes into view as you weigh your options for the second shot. Lay back of the cliffs along the left, or take on a green that runs from front right to back left. So begins Clickbait's Miracle Mile, where eagles and snowmen are in equal supply. McDonald wanted a gambling hole for the 15th, and a peninsula of land allowed Mayo and Lane to provide it. Driver may be too much club here, but if you work the ball around the narrow runway on the left, you'll have nothing more than a wedge in. However, that line is fraught with water and out of bounds. Playing out to the right leaves a longer approach to a target that becomes increasingly shallow. As McDonald said about this tee shot, if you hit it right, you've got a lift to the finish. McDonald wanted the second and final par 3 to be set on an island. He got it thanks to a rock outcropping that juts from the shoreline like Frankenstein's foot. Left is dead here, though long, short, and right are no bargains either. Yes, that's the clubhouse you see off in the distance, but you're still a long way from home. From the island, a drive back over Chubbs Bay serves as the backdrop for the demanding par 4 17th. The theme is common by now. The more risk on the tee shot, the shorter and better your second could be. The safer you play, the more the hole works against you. Don't get caught looking ahead here. This hole demands all of your attention, and par is an excellent score. The short par 4 finishing hole forces the golfer into one final big decision. Carry all the trouble along Chubbs Bay and try to drive the green, or tack around the shore and play the hole conventionally. The layup is far from an easy one, however, as a lone seeder stands in the fairway roughly 220 yards from the hole, left standing at McDonald's request as a nod to a course he played in his youth. The rolling green serves as one final hurdle in your round, whether you're playing for a gold jacket or bragging rights with your buddies. Tap it in and head to the grill room with its famous submarine sandwiches and premium draft beer. Your adventure at Clickbait Country Club is complete.